Here we are again. It's Rick and Joe show here. Now we're going to talk about propagation of, we have a Sansevieria here. I'm trying to remember the name of this one, Rick?
Trifasciata.
Trifasciata, but I think it had a cultivar name to it also. Can't remember. We'll get it for you later. But so these particular ones were all done last year from, we did cuttings off of these also. And I'm going to pull this open a little bit, and Rick can zoom in there, and you can see those cuts there are from last year's cuttings. All right, these new plants. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick out a nice leaf here, and we're just going to go ahead and cut it off. I'll use my sterilized clippers here. We're going to go ahead and cut this off. So we have a cutting here, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to cut it down a little further to about right here. And then I'm going to start right in this section here. So I like to take maybe like a 2-finger cut on this particular one. And so I'm going to take a cut across here. One of the things that you want to make sure is that when you're doing your cuttings, you want to leave this on the board so you know which end is up and down. All right? So, because we don't want to plant it upside down. So again, we'll kind of give an idea. This could be, we'll do one here. Okay, I'm going to do another cut here. So that's why we have this piece of cardboard here. 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 Then we can take this and put it down here. We'll do another one. Another one. Another one. Oh, we can just leave that one right there. That's fine. Okay? So then what we're going to do is we're going to line them up in our tray here. The best thing to do is once you put your propagation mix in here, make sure it's firmed down nicely. Okay? And then you can stick your cuttings in. So we're going to start down here, and we're just going to kind of wiggle them down into the soil. Should be a better way to do this. Maybe we'll try to use the razor blade here a little bit. See if we can use that as a dibbler to place it down in. Okay. We're just going to wiggle them down in. I think that seems to work okay. The larger the piece, it's a little bit easier to do. Okay. Just remember that which side is up. There we go. And then you can go back through and kind of try to firm in between them a little bit. All right. So that looks pretty good. So very easy to do the Sansevierias that way. And then once that root's down in, then it'll start shooting up new leaves from a new plant. And again, this is a clone of the original one also. All right. Okay. Now let's go on to the pothos. We did some cuttings off the pothos, so we won't even show you the plant because it looks so bad. These were outside in our shade house, so we can do some cuttings off these particular ones because these leaves don't look too bad. All right, so we're going to talk about doing these eye bud cuttings, which would be along the stem here, but we're going to do a tip cutting here. And if we look at it here, there's a node here and there's a node here. We could take it here, but we're going to give it, we're going to cut back in this area here. And we're going to cut it just a little ways back. And what you can do is, let me use my tweezers here as a little dibbler. And what you can do is you can make a little spot, right? Make a little dibbler hole down into the perlite there, and then you can just slide that right down inside there. And just press that down. Okay? Now we can look at eye bud cuttings. So we can take our razor blade here, and wherever there's a leaf, we're going to want to cut a little bit above the node and then a little bit, 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch below the node. So there's a leaf bud cutting right there, or eye bud cutting also. So you could lay it like this, but we're going to stick it in the soil like this, and here it's already starting to root out here. Okay? So again, what we can do is we can dibble here a little bit, and we're going to just press the leaf right down inside there. You can leave the top of that exposed just a little bit like that. All right? And then you just want to go all the way down. You can do the same thing here. Pull that leaf back a little bit, cut it here.
Okay, I'm going to stop.